Trade me, please. Giannis Antetokounmpo wants out of Milwaukee, but will it matter? And then there's Kevin Durant with his 2 snake championships. He's done in Phoenix. Will trades move the value of these 2 superstars? Let's talk. What is up, everybody? I am Dappz, here with the one and only largest sports card buyer of all time, Ethan. And we are back for another episode of Up or Down, the show where we explore what really moves a card's price up or down. But first, we love our fans here, and we always love to give back to the community. And last week, we said we'd be giving away this green Brock Bowers Topps Chrome Rookie Auto out of 99 at LCNTP. Username on YouTube. Congratulations, brother. Thank you for watching, and we have another giveaway hidden somewhere in this show. Remember, all you have to do is comment underneath this video to claim your prize. Just say, hey, I won the giveaway. At some point in the show, we're going to reveal away another card, which is right here. What is it? What is it? So stick around. Remember, the way to enter the giveaway is to comment, like, subscribe to this video, comment what you want to see next week or in any episode at all, and you will automatically be entered to win the mystery prize, which will not be a mystery in about 10, 15 minutes, somewhere in this episode. Good luck finding it. Now, trades can matter big time, especially to the value of a sports card. We've seen a Giannis True NT RPA sell for $1.8 million. We've seen a KD rookie in 2021 sell for over $800,000. Now both of these superstars are potentially getting traded. Do you see a Kevin Durant or a Giannis trade impacting the value of either of their cards going up or down?
So yes for one, no for the other. For Giannis, since he's on his first team and he's leaving, it could go up or down because let's take Freddie Freeman, for example. When he was with the Braves for a long time and won a championship there, he was booming as a first ballot Hall of Famer. Then he left the Dodgers and his stuff went down. Even though it was to a larger market, no one wants to see a guy leave their team when you're like a pillar to the team. He's won 2 championships. He still hasn't really gone back to where he was before. But in Giannis's, people like when you stay on one team, but if you're going to stay on the Bucks and just ruin your career, they don't want that. So if you leave, you go to LA to a super team, win championships there, he will go up. If he goes to a questionable team, like let's say like the Miami Heat, and they don't win right away, then I can see him falling even more than he's already been falling. But for KD, I mean, this is his 8th jersey he's put on. I don't think anyone cares where he goes. No one wants to see him stay in Phoenix, but if he hops on a bandwagon, then people are going to shit on him. If he goes to a bad team, people are going to say he's on a bad team. I don't think KD goes up no matter where he goes.
I could see KD going up if he goes to New York or LA, only because, think about LA. Now you've got LeBron, KD, and Luka, which even with LeBron and KD being as old as they are, I just think there's so much hype in the news cycle where people are going to be talking about that every day, which is just going to make them searched more. If he goes to New York, there will be a new coach in New York. You're going to have Brunson paired with KD no matter how you slice it. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now you get KD. There's definitely a number of teams that KD goes to where, like if he goes to the Rockets, even though the Rockets were the 3rd seed or 2nd seed, I don't see him going up. I see Giannis going to the Knicks. He's going to go up tremendously. Giannis to the Lakers going up tremendously. Giannis to the Spurs. Giannis goes up. How about this? Kevin Durant to the Spurs. Does he go up or down?
Oh, he definitely goes minorly up. But KD is a top 10 player all time. KD doesn't go up or down a lot no matter what. KD is fixed at this point because we've seen him join a super team and then join a buns team like the Nets. I mean, the only space where I could really see him catapult if he goes back to OKC where he started. Because then the OKC fans will have a reunion and then that market will build up. The Spurs will go up, sure. Heat will probably go down. Lakers, who cares? It's hard to move a value for a guy who's been doing it for 17 years. But if you go back home, people like that story.
And we'll use another player who was on the Spurs, Kawhi Leonard, who got traded to Toronto. Everybody writes him off. His price goes down because who wants any Toronto Raptor, right? Nobody's investing in a Toronto Raptor. And then all of a sudden, this guy brings his team on this unheralded run to the championship and beats the KD-less, Klay Thompson-less Warriors, but still, that was a defining moment in Kawhi's career. So sometimes the hobby might get it wrong.
We need to discuss how you got traded. If you whined and complained and left your team and you got traded that way, it's not good for your market. If you got traded for like an upgrade, like let's say like, hey, your team's rebuilding, you want to get a bunch of picks, like the Giannis, he's not getting traded because he's throwing a tantrum. He's traded because that team is dead in the water and they need to rebuild. Kawhi going to Toronto, everyone hated it. He sat out a whole season. He got in a fight with Greg Popovich, and then he made everyone eat their words. He went to Toronto, one and done, left with a championship, brought a championship to a team that no one ever expected to win anything. So that helped his market, but he kind of did the impossible. I don't expect Giannis to go to a team and just win a championship with the Portland Trailblazers. Like, that's not going to happen.
No, and it's just interesting how trades affect the value of cards. Another guy who got traded pretty recently, Matt Stafford, went from the Detroit Lions to L.A. Now, this is a player, an athlete who's kind of on the second half of his career, but he did go from Detroit to a bigger market, L.A. You've definitely got more people, and maybe the Rams aren't the best example because they don't have true fans in Los Angeles. No football team has a true fan in Los Angeles, right? All bandwagon, or it's like somewhere you take a date maybe. But Stafford now goes to LA, wins a championship. Because of that trade, I think his market went up significantly. It was much lower to start than your typical player.
These trades are on case-to-case basis. Matthew Stafford was one of the best quarterbacks of all time who never won anything. People, me especially, I just wanted to see Matthew Stafford win. You spent 15 years in Detroit. I mean, you won maybe one playoff game? People were begging for him to be freed. So when he went to the Rams and won it all, that market exploded. That was super good for football in general. Detroit fans were happy. LA fake fans were happy. The NFL was happy. I mean, that was super good for his market. But, I mean, I don't think his market really went up much after that because Rams fans aren't investing in. There aren't Rams fans. They don't exist. They're not investing in players.
They're all in St. Louis.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, sure, it helped his market, but there's no diehard fan investing in Matthew Stafford, even though I think the Detroit fans are, but he didn't win anything in Detroit.
Now, a superstar like Luka Doncic, who gets traded to the Lakers, that is a dream scenario for any collector because you're holding on to a card like Luka. He goes to a bigger market team, right? A team that can potentially be better than the team he was on, and he's a superstar. Unlike Stafford, not to say Stafford wasn't a superstar, but Luka is on another level. Like, Stafford's a star, Luka's a superstar, right? So that's why you saw that 10, 20% jump in Luka cards that week he got traded to the Lakers, even though Luka was already kind of set in terms of he's at a high price point in the market, right?
Yeah, he didn't beg. He didn't try to get off that team. I don't even think he knew he was available till that trade happened. So we can't even place the blame on Luka. We placed the blame on Nico. Now it's kind of like we freed Luka. Luka's in LA. He's home now. I think this offseason they go after maybe like a Zion or like a JoJo, build a super team in LA right off as LeBron's last season, and Luka's cards will explode.
Now, Jimmy Butler also got traded this year to Golden State. Did you see any jump in that market when he first went?
No, dude. Jimmy's worn too many jerseys, and he's just too irrelevant of a player. Like, he's not a Hall of Famer.
This kind of speaks to what you were just talking about with Kevin Durant, where he's wore jerseys for all these different teams. He's kind of a team jumper, right?
And he's a whiner. I mean, remember what happened in the Timberwolves? Had to complain his way off that team. Now on the Heat, where Heat fans adored him. I'm in Miami. I live in Miami. People loved Jimmy there. He was the Messiah. Took him to 2 NBA Finals that they had no part in being in. Then they started a little yappy. I went off the team, and they turned their back on him and flipped him out. I mean, going to the Golden State Warriors was kind of good because that's a strong market, but he's like the third fiddle there, so no one really cares.
And the most recent trade that may have affected a player's card, George Pickens to the Cowboys, that his market definitely went up probably 20% because Dallas Cowboys, biggest team in America. Everybody talks about them. There's way more fans of that team than the Pittsburgh Steelers. So and by the way, George Pickens didn't have a huge market, but that's what allows your market to go up 20% fast.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because he definitely went up, but he's definitely down now because all the investors of Pickens are Steelers guys, diehard Steelers guys, and that is a great market. Steelers cards move. If you have Troy Polamalu and Ben Roethlisberger cards, like they sell. So definitely people who had all these hoarded Pickens cards, it went up because Cowboys fans started buying them. But then you realized in auction that all those Cowboys fans got what they wanted, and now there's no one buying them anymore because Pittsburgh fans are just dumping them because they don't care about him anymore. So I think it went up in the short run, but it's down in the long run. And he could be in a team with DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers right now. And now he's playing with Dak Prescott. He's down, in my opinion.
Now let's go to our favorite segment of the show where we get to talk about what we're buying. And specifically, what are you buying this week, Ethan? Which is the first card we're looking at on Alt this week?
What do I want to buy?
Oh, wow. You're starting off with a banger this week.
Okay, so I may already have one of these.
This card in red, by the way, is so sick. Like, the color match to the jersey is absurd.
Color match to 49. I mean, this card is so pretty. It's
Pop
super
two.
low number. They don't come up. And also, I bring up these cards for one reason, because these cards don't only dictate, like, it's a good buy or bad buy, but the whole Patrick Mahomes industry, because this card hasn't sold in a while. This card is already on track to, I think, 50% more from last sale, and there's still a few days left. At 14.5, that's like $18K with premium. I mean,
is this like a PC buy for you, or your?
Well, I have a BGS 9.
Okay.
And for the record, I paid $15K for my BGS 9 about a couple months ago. The last sale on BGS 9 was like $10K. I mean, these are already way up, and Mahomes lost the Super Bowl. Imagine losing a Super Bowl and going up.
Has Mahomes been going up in the last 60 days or so? Or?
It's such a weird trend that before, let's say 3 years ago, before his back-to-back, he hasn't gone up. He won 2 Super Bowls and didn't go up. And now that he lost the Super Bowl, people are like, all right, let's start giving him credit. Now he's going up. Because for a long time, his stuff never hit the market. You don't see these cards. There's 49 in the world. This card's going to set records and show, hey, Mahomes is still the best quarterback of all time.
This is one of those cards that 20 years from now is like these Jordan inserts, right, from the 90s that are just popping like insane, right? And maybe it's not a great comparison because this is a rookie card, but at the same time, like these rookie cards numbered to 50 or less of Mahomes 20 years from now, like especially if he can win 3 more Super Bowls, like these are the cards that are going to sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You see like optic blues and like prism oranges leave collections all the time. You don't see color matches leaving Mahomes collections. You squint your eyes enough. This is a red PMG Mahomes. This is good stuff. You don't see good Mahomes up for auction a lot. So if you have a chance to win one, do it now, because after his 13th Super Bowl, you won't be able to.
So what are you in this card up until? Like, what is the cap on what you would pay for this?
It's already too high.
It's
but
too high.
The more it goes, the more I make. So I want the fees in at 20K.
Sure. I like that projection. PSA pop on a 10 is 8, which is pretty incredible if you got one of those.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen one of those sell?
I've never even seen one in existence.
Wow.
Who sells that card? Why would you sell that card?
No.
That card is undervalued. Like if you clicked it, it'd probably say it's like a 30K, 40K card. No. That is if you own it, you know that's a 100K card one day.
Sure. And it's probably a $250,000 card and a 10, like 20 years from now.
I can't wait to see what Mahomes' market is in a couple of years from now.
Yeah. Ooh, PCA, the man the Mets traded.
Oof.
What a travesty.
Yeah, does it annoy you when you see first moments of players in your jersey? Like as a Marlins fan, I see so many of them, and it drives me crazy.
I am just so disappointed in all my teams all the time. Well, listen, the Mets are the kind of the exception this year because they are playing out of their minds right now. But do you know who the Mets traded for PCA?
Wasn't Lindor, was it? I remember it was someone really bad.
I'll give you a hint. Way worse than that. Lindor's amazing. Like I'm happy with and by the way, if we traded PCA for Lindor,
I know.
like
Javi Baez, who is one and done for the Mets, played 60 games.
He was a 6-month rental.
Oof.
We traded an MVP caliber player. Not to mention, like we'd have PCA on a rookie contract with Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso.
Yeah, and also I think you didn't make the playoffs that year, and Javi Baez is terrible. Even like it wasn't even like you traded for a good 6-month rental. You traded for like a Toyota Prius.
I think we won 101 games that year, but we lost in the first round. Like, it was a disaster.
Well, this is going to be really interesting because PCA cards haven't had a big market indicator. I actually think a red sold for $30K on eBay, but it was like a buy it now. This is a real auction. I want to see how high this card does. PCA's market's going to explode. He's the best statistical fielder of all time right now. He is 21 years old, and he's on a great franchise, and the Cubs playing center field. This card might do a lot of money.
And the Atta 25 orange is a color match to his original jersey. It's a really, really good looking card. This is a 10. Okay, I'm curious as to why they didn't grade the auto on this.
Exactly what I was gonna say. I wish my vision was good because this auto looks good. If you know anything about Bowman, these are your young autos, so you're not really good at signing autos. This is a very long PCA auto. Remember a couple episodes we talked about shortening your auto?
Sure.
I guarantee he does that soon because his Bowmans don't have good auto grades. So if you take this card and you just send it back to PSA and get a 10 auto, that's a 10-20% increase.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong, Gem in 10 on its own looks fine, but 10-10, there's just something about a 10-10.
10-10, yeah.
So 19 bids, 9K, what do you think this ends up at?
15K plus.
Wow, jumping right over to basketball. Okay, I'm a
Yeah.
sucker for gold though. Banchero.
You don't see me post a lot of modern basketball cards. Like I don't want to talk about them because I don't see any value. I only pulled this card up because it's Paulo Banchero, and I have a take for everyone. You see how good Cade is and how his prices are doing? Paulo's a better player. Like go take this card and comp it to Cade, and I want this card to do more. Paulo cards next season are going to explode. He has a young cast. He has all the money in the world to bring in talent. The Magic are the 5 seed or the 6 seed. Franz, Suggs, all these players, and you bring in some talent. Buy all the Paulo you can. I just offered on an NTRPA. I couldn't get it because the guy was high, but you'll see. Come find me in a few months. I'll have a couple of those.
We got a PSA Pop 5, and that's on a PSA 10. So 5 of these golds that exist are a PSA 10. It's a great looking card, gold. I'm not in love with this off-centered autograph thing that he did.
Yeah, listen, I don't love the card. I'll be honest with you. I love Paulo. It's Contenders. It's not Contenders Optical. That's a piece of shit. True Contenders Premium Gold is a good card. It's PSA 10. It's only 6K. I just think if this was Cade Cunningham, this would be at 9,500 already, and that's why I'm going to buy it if it goes cheap.
So what is your ceiling on this? What are you going to buy it at?
I bet I win this at 8K.
8K?
Yeah.
I mean, for 8K for a gold with an auto,
In a 10.
I like it.
I like it
the
too.
buy. And I like the potential of Paolo also because this dude's like a guy who's dropped 50 points in a game. Right?
The closest comparison we have to Paulo is LeBron James. He is 6'11", runs a 4.5. He has a 42-inch vert. He plays offense, defense, shoots a 3. I love Paolo.
And listen, here's another question too is you might see a pop in Paolo's price too if he either A, gets traded, right, one day, if he gets traded to a bigger market team or a better team, or B, even if his contract ends and he signs with a bigger team that has a potential top 3, top 4. Listen, he could stay on the Magic for sure and try, but the Magic have not been good in a while. Let's be real.
But who said the Magic can't be a big market team? Orlando's a big city. Let's see the Magic win some games. I mean, look at the finals right now. It's Halliburton, Shea, it's Thunder, OKC. Those are tiny markets, and Shea cards are exploding.
Well, I think that you make a great point. I think that the 2 eras of Orlando Magic being good were Shaq and then
Dwight.
Tracy McGrady. I guess Dwight took them to the finals too.
09.
Yeah. I don't even really care about that team though because like they just got stomped by Kobe.
Well, they beat the 09 Celtics with the Big Four. I mean, that's my favorite team of all time.
Yeah,
So
I guess Dwight really was.
Dwight
that
was
dude.
him. Dwight's a first ballot Hall of Famer. We can
Yeah.
disrespect him all he wants. He's a 5-time back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year.
Which is pretty impressive.
No, he was a specimen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Innovation kabooms do not come along often. 2013, Steph Curry. This looks super low.
When I was in Newport last week, this card walked up to my table, and I was like, I've never seen this card. I looked into it, and the last comp was low. I think the last comp was like 3-4K, and the guy told me I won't sell it for less than 8. And I was like, that makes sense. And I watched. I guarantee this card does twice what the last one does.
Well, 3K with 9 days left, I mean, it has the potential to, at minimum, double. So PSA 10 pop, 23 of these. Either way, a 2013 Panini card in itself is like long-term value off the charts, right? And to be a pop 23 in this Kaboom, that's awesome.
It's such a different look too. Like I love the animation. It's horizontal Kaboom. It's like has so much unique factors. And here's a little tip for everyone. If you see basketball cards, you can comp them on Card Ladder. You can comp them on Ultimate 130. Go to Card Hobby. Go overseas. See what these cards are doing overseas because they do more than you think. Because all of these people in Asia want the sets. They want all the Currys. They build sets there because they're real collectors. They'll pay top dollar for this. I just bought a 2018 Curry BGS 9.5. The comp in America was $3K. The comp in Card Hobby is $4,500. So I'll be sending it overseas. This card, I guarantee, does not stay in the States.
Well, I mean, when you're talking about a 50% increase, it seems like you could just collect a bunch of this stuff, take a flight over to Europe or China, wherever it is, right, and set up at a show. Not with these tariffs, right? More gold. I love it. CJ Stroud, Gold Shimmer, PSA 9. I'm surprised that you put a Gold Shimmer on here because Gold Shimmers, in comparison to True Golds, it's not even that they suck. It's that they're so all over the place. Like, it's so difficult to get the true value of it. Like, wouldn't it be great if a Gold Shimmer is 70% value of a Gold True? It's
so nice.
Never that way.
If
They're
math
all
made
over the
sense.
place. Everybody overvalues photo all the time.
Yeah.
What's also BS is that first off the line product, in theory, should command a higher price point than base. It doesn't.
Does not.
There's no unique. Panini does create unique inserts for photo, but none of them are standout. This card sells for more than everything. Like, why is there not a photo insert that sells for more than a gold prism? You know what I mean? Like, that's insane.
It's because photo is only in photo, and Prism Hobby is in also in photo. So it's like it shortens up the amount of product you can open to get that card. That being said, this card is for the sharps of all sharps. CJ Stroud, super down for no reason. Last year had a sophomore slump and won a playoff game. This card is one of his better cards. He doesn't have autos. He doesn't have game-used patches. So if you really look at the hierarchy of cards, this is one of Stroud's top 30 cards. When this product came out, this card was $15,000. It is at $1,000 at $1,300. There's so much money to be made on this card. I think that I hate Gold Shimmers. I think this card is putrid, but it's so rare, and Stroud has so much potential. My hot take for this football season, Stroud wins MVP.
That is a very hot take, but at the same time, I don't think it's that crazy. I think that he got sacked 60 times last year. He was in like the top 5 of quarterbacks who got sacked last year, and when you're dealing with that much pressure, obviously it's going to affect your rhythm in the pocket. Obviously it's going to affect your statistics. He's in arguably the worst division in the league. The Colts stink. The Titans stink, right? Everyone's going to be, oh, Cam Ward. Cam Ward's going to take a couple years, if anything, right? And the Jaguars stink.
Yeah.
So he is in a clear position to win this division again, be in the playoffs again. He's already won playoff games, right? So it's not like that uncommon. And I agree with you. Even if he doesn't win MVP, if this dude gets back to the playoffs and he's balling out, which he will, and he wins one playoff game, look what Jaden Daniels did.
He's going to take a huge jump. The year 3 jump is going to happen. I mean, listen, out of that division, the Jaguars might compete a little bit, but the Texans will find a playoff spot. He, like you said, got sacked 60 times and won 11 games. Beat Herbert in the playoffs.
If he beats Mahomes, Allen, or Lamar Jackson in any round, just one of those guys, you can guarantee this is really low for a Gold Shimmer, no matter how you cut it. I mean, you got to assume that this guy's Gold True has to be $20K, right?
Oh, I'd pay $20K if you found me one right now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying floor, and the only reason I said is like Bo Nix, all these guys are going for 15, 17, 19K on their golds, right? So at minimum. So I like CJ Stroud above all of those. The only one you can argue with me who's better is Jaden Daniels, but I don't think any of them. And I would also say CJ Stroud
Gold Shimmer is also $20K.
Sure. So This card's got to be like $7K minimum, right?
Dude, 1,300. I think Bryce Young does more than this. It's just so offensive. He's a great quarterback. I'm going to keep
There's
on Stroud
no
all
way
off
Bryce
season.
Young's doing more than this.
I think Bryce Young does more than 1,300. We're talking about
We might have to split this
1,300.
one.
I'm down. I'll win this all day of the week. I'll split it with you.
I'll pay up to $3,500 each for this
Dude,
one.
It's addition by subtraction. You get rid of Stephon Diggs, who's just toxic to the locker room. You get rid of these 2 old tackles. You're going to bring in 2 new tackles. They just got Nick Chubb. I mean, I like the team. It's going to be good.
I like it. I like this. This is the best value play here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a black downtown has definitely got my eye. Wow. This is the 1/1 Travis Kelce. 2024 Donruss Kelce Black 1/1. This is a cool card.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I will never put a downtown on here again. I don't like downtowns. I don't like black downtowns. I don't like anything about the card, but that at $1,600, if you win this card, you will sell it for $8K to any repacker in the world. This is just, there's no way, this price is way too low. I mean, raw, this is a $5K card.
Raw.
It's a PSA 10 of the best tight end of all time.
Yeah.
It's just, listen, I'm not going to, there's tons of cards on here. I can show you cool cards all day, but if you want to make some money, you win this card right now.
Sure.
You can look at like a clearly hollow platinum PSA 8 garbage card of Travis Kelce. It's probably still a 3-4K card. So I just put this on there because it was cheap. Try to win this from me. Good luck.
This is also pretty sick, but this is Gold Wave. So it's just another one of those cards. Like, what is the true value? You know, your actual true gold, always going to pay a premium for. LeBron tribute to Kobe. This is like one of my favorite cards. I would love to like rainbow this. Just like, it doesn't even need to be all PSA 10s. Just like, this is such a cool card to have. I actually have this in the Tiger PSA 9.
So sick.
Gold Wave Prism PSA 9. So we have but this is not numbered. So PSA population, PSA 10, 32. Again, we talk about this all the time though. There's only 32 of these. This is a LeBron James tribute to Kobe. You have 2 of the most notable, influential basketball players of all time kind of mentioned in this card. So I like this as a long-term play, whether you're spending $500 or you're spending one that's numbered for $5,000. This is a card you hold long-term and really, really can make some money on.
We might have talked about the 2020 tribute last episode, and I'm going to keep putting them up there because it's the most aesthetic card Prism's ever came out with. The picture is perfect. Then we have a color match. Gold is gold. The Lakers have gold in their uniform. If you want to go get a true gold, have fun. Go spend $80,000. This is only at $397. I'd rather have this card for 1% of the price. This card was a multiple $1,000 card at one point. It was just cheap at that point. This will go to a guy who will probably hold on to it for a while. This is not a resale card like the other one. You can buy this at a couple $100 and save this for 10 years, and it will go up a lot.
Yeah, and it's just a sick card to have. I mean, listen, it's also arguably a color match with the yellow Lakers gold, right? This is such an iconic card. This is where Panini actually does their job, right? And on an off year where there's no reason for a LeBron James card other than the LeBron James factor. But now you've created this like legacy card.
Dude,
like this is a card that 20 years from now everyone's still going to be talking about.
In 2020, you hit this card and you jump into a dumpster. Remember that? Like you being back off the table when you got this card.
Yeah.
I mean, $400 nowadays. This is just a good value. They made 2020. This is your biggest chase in the product. I think the black sold privately for $500,000. It's like the 08 Topps Chrome set. I'll keep repeating it. The photo matters. Horizontal cards are cool, and trust me, at $397, you're getting more than what you paid for.
Sure. All right, everybody, tell us which card you're buying on alt. Which one has the best value? I really like that CJ Stroud at $1,300. I like the 1/1 downtown Kelce at $1,600. I think those are cards you could hold long term. Also, obviously, tribute to Kobe LeBron card at $400. That's a no-brainer. But please let us know in the comments if there should be a listing that we missed that is the most valuable on alt, because we want to put those up next week. All right, guys. I know you've been patient. I know you've been waiting, and I know you're watching Up or Down every single week, and we appreciate you, and that's why we're going to give away this card in my hand. I bet you want to know what this card is. It's going to be a rookie card. It's going to be a Prism. It's going to be a Michael Penix to 149 on the Flashback Prism. or maybe this is Deca. Do we call this flashback?
Nope, Deca.
I think we're going to call it Deca. We're not going to call it flashback. Deca Prism Blue Penix out of 149. All right. All you have to do is like this video, subscribe to our channel, and make sure you leave a comment underneath this video. Tell us what you want to see on any given week. Tell us a subject you want to hear about. I promise you we will be talking about it. Listen, shout out Jeremy Trujillo. By the way, he commented last week. He said he wants to see some Pokemon and some hockey. So I think we have something coming up for you, Jeremy. We did not talk about hockey this week, but Stanley Cup should be over by next week. Maybe you'll get your wish. Again, anybody else who wants to hear about anything, please let us know in the comments. So Halliburton's 101 Black True just sold for a record-breaking $120,000 this past week, and my personal opinion is this guy is guaranteed to lose money. What do you think about that?
Wow, we couldn't be so far off because I thought he fucking stole it. $120K? That's it? I mean, if Shea's ran today, it's almost doing $1 million, dude.
The difference between Shea and Tyrese, though, is that Shea will have a championship next week, and Tyrese will have a picture of himself doing a choke symbol on a T-shirt.
Dude, Hallie's only 22, 23. He's 2020 draft class. Hallie's got time. And listen, Indy, look what they're paying for Caitlin Clark cards. I'm surprised you didn't pay more for Halliburton cards. Like, Indy's a good fan base full of love and basketball. Hallie's him, bro. 120, I can see that card doing a lot more.
I would agree with you if I thought the Pacers actually had a chance at winning this NBA Finals and that Tyrese had a chance, but I don't see it happening. I think that Tyrese, listen, this Indiana core, they can definitely make some noise the next couple of years, but you're buying Halliburton at his peak.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the argument right here. And my whole point is that he's about to lose the championship. And I mean, we've seen this before. We bring this up all the time. Joe Burrow, Gold Prism, did $70,000 the week of the Super Bowl, right? He loses to Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
We know that card is worth 1/3 of that right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So listen, I don't think Halliburton goes to 1/3 of 120.
Well, your Brunson Nebula did 85,000. I mean,
but again, we're talking about sales that are happening during the peak of cards, right? So all of these sales, 100% we can reference them, but you know that if you or I were shaking a guy down at a card show and somebody said the Brunson did 90K, I would have said, yeah, when they were in the playoffs. Right?
True.
We're in the off season now, and we're not paying off-season prices for Brunson. I'll give you 45K and negotiate up from there.
But if you would have came up right now and said, hey, the Hallie Black to 250K, I'd be like, sure. Any number could have made sense right now. 120 is cheap. I think, was that card an auction? I don't think it was an auction. It was probably a best offer.
It could have been a best offer, could have been a private sale. But again, let's just move over to, you are right in the sense that Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Drake May, all of their true prisms are basically selling for the same price, which doesn't make any sense because Halliburton's done way more than those guys. And I've been hearing this argument for years that basketball is an international market, and that's why it commands higher prices than football. The truth of the matter is it doesn't, because look at these 5 quarterbacks. Guaranteed 4 of these 5 quarterbacks will be on their ass in 3 or 4 years.
100%.
And those $120,000 cards are going to be worth $10K. Look at Mac Jones. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Somebody paid $100,000 for a Mac Jones 1/1 Prism Black. And by the way, you can't even tell me that card's worth $1,000 right now.
No.
I would not pay $1,000 for a 1/1. I'm just saying, I personally would not pay $1,000 for a Mac Jones 1/1 Black Prism because I don't think he's good. I've watched him play. He's never going to be good.
I think we just figured it out because I would pay that because I'm a stupid American. The international scene doesn't feel as stupid as we are. We will spend $100K on bad quarterbacks when they are like, oh, we'll wait a little bit before we drop that type of money. I think this Tyrese Halliburton still is low. Is it a bad buy? Yes. Is it low? Yes. Would I ever spend 6 digits on a guy that's not in the Hall of Fame? Never in my life. So sure, in the short run, it's a cheap card. In the long run, it's a terrible buy.
And we talk about this all the time, and I'll never stop talking about it because this is one of those auctions that you let slip away. But no one will be able to convince me on this show or otherwise that Lamar Jackson, Black, 1/1, True Finite is worth $80K, and all the guys we just mentioned, just think about that. Mac Jones' rookie card sold more than Lamar Jackson, who has 2 MVPs. Lamar Jackson is in the Hall of Fame. Like, whether anyone wants to admit it or not, like, he will be in the Hall of Fame because there's a very short list of NFL players who have 2 MVPs, right? And he's one of them. He is one of like 10 guys who have ever played the game of football to win 2 MVPs, right? You cannot win 2 MVPs and not be in the Hall of Fame. Doesn't happen. 100% in the Hall of Fame. Mac Jones sold for $20,000 more than Lamar Jackson. Tyrese Halliburton sold for $40,000 more than Lamar Jackson. So the reason I'm going on this rant is no matter what on that $80K buy, will you ever lose money if you hold that card, right? Everybody else we just named, almost all of them will go to 0 or 10% of their worth. And that's the hard reality of card collecting.
I think there's a racial problem with that Lamar Jackson sale.
I've heard this argument before, but also like Halliburton, like what? Because he's light skinned. Like I don't get it.
That's basketball. Basketball is different. You don't have any white hope besides Larry Bird. You have to. In America, we like the white quarterbacks. It's super sad because Lamar Jackson has more talent and half his body than 99.9% of the quarterbacks. That card at $80K was so disrespectful. I know the owner of that card, and when I ballparked it, I was like, listen, this is a $150K card. It's going to do $80K because these collectors are stubborn and not good people. So we can't use that Lamar Jackson sale to talk about Mac Jones and all that because Mac Jones is another white hope.
Well, I mean, you're just an idiot, though, if you'd buy a Mac Jones and over Lamar Jackson. And also, like, football is a meritocracy, right? Mm-hmm. And even as a collector, that's how I view all of this stuff. Mm-hmm. If you are an elite player, that's all that really matters if I'm looking at your card, right? I like to collect LeBron. I like to collect Kobe. I'll collect Brady. I'll collect Jordan, right? Because I know those guys and their body of work. So when I see Lamar Jackson, I think there's no way 10, 20 years from now you can't deny who this guy was and the statistics that he's going to have the most rushing yards by a quarterback for years and years and years and years.
Dude led the ACC in passing, ran a 4.4. He's 6'6". They were calling him a wide receiver. He went 30th overall. If this was anyone else, they'd be we just looked at quarterbacks like Jackson Dart just got drafted at 22nd. That's higher than Lamar Jackson. Jackson Dart's a 6-year player in the league. You know, I always talk about with my friends, if Patrick Mahomes was a little darker, he wouldn't have been where he was today. He would have been outside the first round. He wouldn't have gone the hope. People wouldn't be collecting him, paying top dollar for him. And honestly, Lamar Jackson has just as much skills as Patrick Mahomes does.
Listen, the only argument you can make against Lamar is that he hasn't been showing up in the playoffs where he should be. And listen, they got Derrick Henry last year, second year with Henry. Look out for the Ravens, dude. Just look out for the Ravens. I'm not saying
Peyton Manning didn't have any success his first 10 years. If you go put up Manning and Lamar back to back, Manning hasn't done shit compared to what Lamar's been doing. One day people will forget how talented Lamar Jackson is. He could play wide receiver. He could play cornerback. He could play any position in the league. He'll be a top 5 player at that position. So one day they'll get it.
Listen, there's going to be a lot of collectors who lose money on their ass. And listen, look at Ellie De La Cruz. His 101, I think, sold for a little over $1 million. And then when it resold a year or two later, $300K. So congratulations on losing $700,000, right?
Congrats.
And by the way, like, I'm sure you got plenty of money to play around with if you're buying that card, but that doesn't make it a smart buy. Right. So, again, this is more about buying at the peak. Right. And that's what you should avoid is don't buy at the peak.
No.
Don't buy Halliburton this week. Don't buy Brunson last week. Wait till the offseason and try to shake a guy down. Because, listen, there's going to be some people who realize I lost money and I just want the cash back. That's your greatest buying opportunity. Right. Is this guy knows he lost. And then there's other guys, by the way, who will just diamond hands a card for years and be like, I'm not losing money on this card. And you're like, bro, I get it. You paid $20,000 for this card. It's worth 12 right now. I'll give you 11. You know what I mean?
Those are the worst vendors in the hobby when I see people diamond handing cards. Like, bro, rip the Band-Aid off, dude. Like,
and a lot of these guys are guys who got into the hobby like in the past couple years, right? And they're like, this is their first experience of pain. Yeah. Right, and they're I'm not going through that, right? Yeah. And we've all been there. We get it.
Yeah, good job, little guy.
right, for sure. Listen, I have a personal experience like this too. 2 years ago at the National in Chicago, I split a Kenny Pickett True Shield out of Panini One. We paid $10K for it. That thing's probably worth $1,000 right now. if that.
If.
So I need the knight in shining armor, Kenny Pickett, to roll into Cleveland and have a 3-game win streak so I can get 50% of my money back. But I guarantee you, if Kenny Pickett starts 3 games and wins 3 games in a row, if I get a $5,000 offer, I'm taking that all day. Give me a $5K loss.
Dude, what if he wins 12 games and the Browns make the playoffs, dude? You'll be rolling it. It's Sam
You'll
Darnold
see me
money.
diamond hands again. He's going to 20K.
No, you'll be out of that card so quickly.
So fast.
I want to talk about one last thing before we go. That French Open this weekend is going to bring a lot of money to tennis. Carlos and Sinner are 2 22-year-old phenoms, and I think that rating on that tennis was the largest tennis match watched in the past 15 years, I think they were saying. We saw WWE go up. We're seeing UFC go up. Keep an eye out for tennis cards. That's all I want to say. In the next year or two, when you have 2 generational stars coming up at once and starting a battle, there's going to be a lot of eyes on it.
And also, don't buy it this week because that match just happened.
Yeah.
Maybe wait till the off season of tennis before you start buying.
Yes. And make sure you do some research before you buy it, too.
Please do some research.
Yeah.
Watch this show.
Yeah, please.
Please tell us what you're buying in the comments. We want to hear from you guys. Like we always ask, we're happy to talk about other topics, whether it's Pokemon, whether it's tennis, whether it's hockey. Tell us a category you want to hear about, and we will bring it up on the show. We will also throw up some alt listings. Like, subscribe, and please comment underneath this video to be entered to win the giveaway, and that's a blue Penix. We will see you next week on Up or Down. Thanks for watching Up or Down. We're back with new episodes and giveaways every week. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, and check out these other videos that we think you might enjoy.